Hello, this is Godzilla 90s and welcome back to Let's Play Super Godzilla. In this video, I will have my review of Godzilla 2014. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty great. Because when this video was recorded, it was September 20th. This audio recording is September 21st, 2014, of course. And I saw it the 18th. I have not had the chance to own my own copy of the DVD, so I haven't been able to freeze frame anything to catch any Easter eggs. All I saw was the movie itself. Oh no! We have to fight Godzilla? What is this? That's impossible! Don't we have Godzilla here? Anyway, yeah, now we gotta rush over there and deal with another Godzilla, I guess. But yeah, in this video, my review. Yeah, that's a mine. Found that one out the hard way. Those are mines. This is where we're introduced to what I guess you would call the random encounters of Super Godzilla. On occasion, you will encounter these tiny little UFO guys. And they're not too terrible, just any attack will do them in, really. You just fire off the beam. And then it hits, goes right through, and sinks the UFO. So yeah, they're not really all that hard, they're just there to make you waste time, really. All they are really there for. Time wasters. We're gonna speed this up because this is a process that takes quite a while. And that's what happens when you fast forward too far. Yeah, energy refill is a process that takes a while. I mean, this video is already, when I got done recording, it was already almost 45 minutes long, and that's ridiculous for a Let's Play. So yeah, and those things with 3 turrets, I think, are I don't want to say mortars, but they're oh, you've seen them in giant monster movies all the time. I just can't think of the name right now. That's the energy refill item, which we've seen already. But, on with the review, I suppose. Since it seems I was jacking around here. I have to say, Gareth Edwards did a pretty good job. It was a pretty amazing movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If there was any bad part in the movie, it would have been that I didn't hear either of Godzilla's 2 themes, which would be Godzilla's theme and the Godzilla March. Really, technically, the Godzilla March is really for the Japanese self-defense force, but it's kind of been misconstrued as Godzilla's theme song. Because it sounds like this music that would play during roaring rampages of revenge. Shameless plug for TV tropes. Any Godzilla fan worth their salt knows that the Godzilla theme sounds like this. Kind of foreboding. And the march sounds like something like that. I'm sure I'm off tune on it a slight bit, but that's basically how it sounds. And I didn't hear either of those during the movie, so that would be the only cons of this of the new movie. I'm gonna try and do this review without spoiling it too much. Another random encounter UFO there. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do this without spoiling it too much. Hopefully the name of the monster that Godzilla's fighting isn't a spoiler, because that's really gonna ruin a lot of this review. It's basically Godzilla versus Muto. And, here's what happens if you run into a mountain. You just rip it apart. Costs us some energy, and deducts 10 points from the overall score. And this is the dreaded MUFO, the one that's helping Godzilla warp around the arena. Now, unlike the UFOs, this guy's a chicken, and he just hovers up there for a good 10 minutes before finally coming back down, as you will soon see. Takes more than just a simple hit from an atomic breath to destroy him. But yeah, you'll see how long this takes. This takes an inordinate amount of time, a very aggravating amount of time, like a ridiculous amount of time. But yeah, so basically Godzilla versus Muto is how I would describe Godzilla 2014. With a whole lot of human thrown in. Now don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing necessarily. But, they kind of starred in the movie a little bit too much more than Godzilla did. Because, if I had to estimate, I would add up that Godzilla's screen time in the movie was combined roughly 30-35 minutes, maybe 40, and out of a 2-hour movie, that's not good. But of course, this was the introduction to Godzilla for, I guess you'd call it, a new audience. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. The Mutos would stop. I guess that might be a spoiler right there too.
Come on, everybody.
No, wait, that was in the press release. That doesn't count as a spoiler. If it's in the press release, it doesn't count as a spoiler. Yeah, the two Mutos. Keep gallivanting all over the place, and Godzilla has to keep chasing him down. So I guess it'd be kind of boring just watching Godzilla stomp all over the place trying to find him. But seemed to work well in the Japanese movies, and they didn't take very much time getting there.
Wow, we sure had fun today.
Probably used a lot of video cuts, but anyway, I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was good. Elizabeth Olsen was okay. Wasn't necessarily familiar with Elizabeth Olsen. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson is Dave from Kick-Ass, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, I'm actually starting to fast forward this fight now because it's taking so long. It's taking very long, so now I'm actually fast forwarding, hoping he'll come down at some point eventually. Bryan Cranston was terrific. I love Bryan Cranston he's the guy who sounds the alarm that something big is coming. He was terrific. I loved him. He had a great part. Too bad I can't spoil what happens to him. That would actually been a great part of my review. But it's a spoiler, so I won't say anything. Oh, I think we finally downed the big UFO. The enemy can't warp now. MUFO, I think, is supposed to stand for the M Hunters, I think they were called, in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. The aliens in that movie. This game is basically trying to subtly be Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, but with more monsters. And it's obvious to see that if they had done Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah like this would have been a 5-hour movie. 6 or 7 hours, maybe, at the most. Because each episode has been ungodly long. But, yeah. I keep getting distracted by the game. Gareth Edwards, great job. Good job directing. I hear that they're already making a sequel. Godzilla 2, as it's called right now. I hear that it's going to feature King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra, and I would implore Gareth Edwards' design team to not alter their designs too much. Please, don't make Mothra a giant butterfly. This is what went wrong with the first American Godzilla movie. We deviated too far off the design path. But, you know, I think Rodan might count as an acceptable target. He kind of pisses me off a little. He's an annoying little brat. He can't fight fairly. He always swoops in, pecks, flies out. Always annoyed me. Never fights fair. Oh, the stop time item. Yeah, the counter will be stopped for a while, so that was always nice. Not a whole lot of good it did, but it was nice. Allowed me to heal. And I when I read that or heard about it, I think I heard about it before I read it. I heard that they were making Godzilla 2 with those 3 new monsters, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Rodan. I said, oh hey, they're remaking Ghidorah the 3-headed monster. That's basically what they're doing. Now I don't know if Mothra will pop up in. That was a very lucky item pick, by the way. I don't know if Mothra will be Larva or Imago, or however they pronounce it. And oh my goodness, it is another Godzilla. Though this is quite unexpected. I don't know how we're going to fight another Godzilla. It'd be the same, wouldn't it? The same fighting spirits. Also, to Toho's credit, they didn't change these 2 portraits at all. They look... Oh! That's Mechagodzilla. The enemy was really Mechagodzilla. Weak fire breath attack will just bounce back at you because of Mechagodzilla's strong barrier. Mechagodzilla has all the moves he does from the movies. And he's kind of a dick. Mechagodzilla is kind of a dick because instead of rushing over there and blocking you, he just sends a little image double after you. Kind of a coward. But yeah, those portraits were almost identical until they changed. Now they're not so much identical. Now, before they changed, one looked maybe lighter in color. I don't know. Someone might have to A/B compare that, because they look basically the same. But this fight is what takes up quite a bit of the movie. Almost ridiculous how much this takes up. Yeah, that's insane how long this fight takes. So while we're waiting for the fight to finish, let's go back to our to the review. How about that? So I heard about Godzilla 2, which I already said, and I'm excited for it. I just hope that Gareth Edwards doesn't change too much. And I'm also kind of wondering if it's going to be Godzilla versus all three of them, or if it's going to be exactly like Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, and it's going to be Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan versus King Ghidorah. It could even be Godzilla and Mothra versus Rodan and King Ghidorah. I don't know. But if I'd say the movie wasn't bad. The 2014 Godzilla movie wasn't 2 hours and 3 minutes, so it was long. It was almost way too long. I think it's because it was the extended version. They said they were releasing the extended version of the movie on DVD, and I think what I saw might have been the Blu-ray, but I'm not positive. I'm not positive on that, but I think it was the Blu-ray, because I saw it in a local theater around here where I live, so but I think it was Blu-ray, which means it might have been even longer. I loved the tagline for the movie, by the way. A king's arrival is never silent. That gave me chills, like, ooh. They called him a king. Especially with the Monarch division of the Secret Monarch Society or division or whatever that keeps track of Godzilla around the planet. Speaking of that, they had an interesting origin story for Godzilla, in that he was awoken by the atomic bomb as usual, but he's Earth's alpha predator, which basically means that in a roundabout way, he's basically like a physical god. Whenever another giant monster threatens to destroy the Earth, Godzilla comes and just pummels the crap out of it. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is, he just pummels the crap out of it. Even if it's human beings itself. Like maybe someone's gonna drop the biggest bomb ever on the planet. Godzilla might wake up and just blow that thing to shreds. Or suck up all the radiation out of it. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I thought that's how it worked, but they've never really shown it working that way, so I don't know. But, yeah. One thing I found interesting was the idea of echolocation. And that Godzilla apparently knows about it. Which I suppose would make sense, being an animal. But I was under the impression that only bats used echolocation. Along with various other things. But usually not something much bigger than, well, actually, don't whales use it? Dolphins? I think they use a form of it. I didn't think anything much bigger than that could use echolocation. But apparently Godzilla can. Because he answered the Mutos back in a big way. In a very much stronger wavelength than the Mutos. One thing I was kind of disappointed in is that Godzilla didn't use his dorsal spikes for anything. I would have really liked that, like he did in Godzilla against Megaguirus. And I think I already mentioned he took way too many back attacks. No, wait, I don't think I did. I think that's in the audio at the end of the video. The only surviving bit of audio from the first recording. Yeah, Godzilla took way too many back attacks. He got beat up way too much for Godzilla. That would be a con. That he got beat up way too much. Way too much to be acceptable. So I was a little disappointed that Godzilla got almost thoroughly trounced if he hadn't pulled out his atomic beam at the last second. to get the little pest off of him. And the way he finished the fight was pretty good too. So basically, without going too much into detail, this final review score depends on one of two things. On whether or not, yeah, well, as I was saying, one of two things. Interrupted by something. But, one of two things. Whether or not I can accurately find one of the two Godzilla songs in there. This is the theme or the march. If I can find one of those, the score will go a little higher. And the second thing is whether or not anyone can convince me that Godzilla took an acceptable beating for a movie. Because I think they trashed him a little bit too much. But final score, I would guess would have to be 9 out of 10, which is really good for an American Godzilla movie, trust me. If I can find the Godzilla March or the Godzilla theme anywhere in the movie, even a snippet of it, that score will go higher, 9.5 at the most. And then if anyone can convince me that Godzilla took an acceptable thrashing, appropriate for a Godzilla movie, then I will make that a 10 out of 10. Because this was the best American Godzilla movie I have ever seen. Of course, considering the last American Godzilla, that's not really much of a statement, but because there's really nothing to base it off of. When the first thing is complete nonsense. Oh, and here's the stronger beam attack. The only thing capable of getting through Mechagodzilla's shield, which he puts up in futility. You can't see it very well, but it actually blows up the shield. And we're actually running out of time in this fight, by the way, which is great. He keeps blocking me every single time, which is just wonderful. About this point, I just started fast forwarding because we only have 40 seconds left, and I'm trying to get his little meter to stay relatively down. And that, of course, was the wrong attack to use, so I had to keep loading and waiting. I had to take some strong chances here. That's lucky. The question mark gave me the stronger beam attack. That I thoroughly was surprised at. And so, yeah, if anyone can convince me of two things, I will give it 10 out of 10. Now, I don't know whether to have some funky icon or something pop up, like a sun or a Godzilla face. Either 10 suns or 10 Godzilla faces, I don't know. Doesn't Rotten Tomatoes have, like, tomatoes for their icon that they used to? I don't know if they have them anymore, but yeah. Might not add anything. I might just say 10 out of 10, and that's it. I'll decide that later. But yeah, that's the review. And 24 and a half minutes into this fight. So this is going great. Just great. Fight is almost over. Almost. We're close. Very close. This is the almost the hit. This might be the hit. Oh, one more. Not dead yet. Alright, here we go. I'm at 20 seconds. I only got one shot at this. Just one shot. And of course the first thing it gives me is atomic breath. So we're just going to use the headbutt, and that will finish him off. And there we go, that's it. Battle over. Victory roar and beam blast roar. Now, of course, as it says up there, what follows is the only hearable audio from the original recording, so that might be all for me as you're hearing me now, because now you're about to hear me from the past. What a twist! Another great thing you might hear is me giving the score again and talking about the movie, because I had actually went this far into the video talking about the movie still, and getting distracted by the Mechagodzilla fight. So you get to, the review was so nice you get to hear it twice. Yeah, I thought the new Godzilla movie was great. Again, of course I can't spoil much. Oh, we finally find out just what this means. If I hit any buildings, I actually lose points, which is hilarious that they calculated for that. But that's my final tally for Stage 2. I didn't necessarily say I was the best Super Godzilla player, it's just I play Super Godzilla. I may have played it once or twice, maybe 3 times. Not nearly as often as some other Godzilla games. I'm looking at you, destroy all monsters mainly. And save the Earth. Anyway, I enjoyed the movie. I did. I was a little excited before I saw it, but I was skeptical enough that, you know, I knew I couldn't necessarily trust American Godzilla again. But I came out of this believing I could trust Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edward. One of the two. With another Godzilla movie. I feel I could trust him. He did a pretty good job. I kind of don't like that, you know, and this was revealed in an interview, so this is not really a spoiler, that Godzilla can't use his atomic breath as often as he probably should. I'm kind of okay with the, you know, the limitation that it drains much of his energy from firing it. But if we could scale that back a bit, just a bit, because he only got to use it twice, and even in Godzilla Final Wars, he used it more than that. In Godzilla 2000, he used it more than that. Being that this is American Godzilla, I can understand the apprehensiveness. Because last time we did American Godzilla, he didn't use it at all. I shouldn't even say he, that wasn't even him. That was Gino. Or Zilla, whichever you prefer. Last time they tried it, they didn't have that fake Lucas use it at all. This time, Godzilla, and I feel comfortable calling him that, Godzilla used it twice, so that's a step up from last time. But I do wish he could have used it slightly a bit more. Just a slight bit more. There were times I felt that there were several missed opportunities. especially, you know, when in one scene where one of them took off flying or jumping. I think it was flying, and there was a perfect opportunity there to shoot him out of the sky. And Godzilla didn't take it. Now, being Godzilla is who Godzilla is, I would have figured he was a slightly opportunistic, you know, winning the fight any way he can. But he didn't take the shot, which I found strange. But yeah, I just kept thinking back to, you know, okay, he said that it drains his energy a bit much when he uses it, so he's got to use it at some point. And he did finally use it near towards the end of the movie. Finally did use it. He used it in a pretty good way at the end, which I kind of liked. But you know, another thing that really irked me is that Godzilla took way too many punches for being Godzilla. I mean, he fell for almost every sneak attack in the book, which is something that kind of irked me. How do you not hear something that big behind you? I mean, didn't the thing even roar? I think the thing roared before it struck him. I mean, come on. You have a tail, use it. I mean, you have spikes. Could you not use the spikes? Could you not think of something? I mean, really. It's another reason why I like Godzilla against Megaguirus so much. He actually uses those spikes or something. But, oops. Hello, screensaver. But, he handled it for the way that Godzilla handled the fight. I applaud him. He did a pretty good job, except for those minor annoyances. But other than those, it was a pretty good fight. Now, there is a question I do want to ask. We have a new Dr. Serizawa. What will become of him now? Will he go the way of his predecessor, or will he... Not that there's really much of a curse on the Serizawa line of characters. There's only been one until now there's two. Will he go the way of his predecessor and fall to the curse of the Serizawa line and wind up killing himself, or will he be crushed to death in an accident, or will he actually stay alive for once? At this point, that is unknown. But I'm sure we will receive an answer by the sequel, which they are quite creatively calling Godzilla 2 at the moment. Can't wait to see their designs, Rodan and Mothra and King Ghidorah. At the moment, I have faith in Gareth Edwards. That, hold on, I'll check that out right now. I'll see if I'm getting it right or not. Okay, Edwards, it is Edwards. Good thing I have that picture of the poster. But yeah, I have faith in Gareth Edwards right now. Even though he does not necessarily handle character design, I have faith that he can make a good movie based around these four characters next time. I just hope that he doesn't try to, turn any of these monsters into anything that they should not be. For the sake of the Godzilla fans, please do not turn Mothra into a butterfly. Don't make King Ghidorah like like, I don't know, the dragon from Dragon Ball Z or something. Don't do that. Don't do that to them, please. Now, Rodan, on the other hand, he might be what I consider the Scrappy of the Godzilla universe. He kind of annoys me. Only because, you know, he's like one of the bats from Castlevania. He pops in, he strikes, and he flies away. He's a little chicken. He doesn't fight fairly. That's what annoys me about him. He doesn't fight fairly. Of course, being what he is, I suppose he doesn't really have a choice, but I still don't like him for that. You could make Rodan a chicken for all I care. Now, I like Rodan. I find him a tad annoying, but I do like him. So maybe don't make him a chicken. But it would be funny. It would be funny. Maybe a mutated chicken. Mixed with some dinosaur DNA. Mixed with some dinosaur DNA. Where have I heard this before? Didn't we try to combine dinosaur DNA with another creature? Yeah, how well did that one turn out? Anyway, don't turn Rodan into a chicken. All joking aside, don't do that. I doubt Toho would let you anyway. But if you, for some reason, feel the need that you should include Dino/Zilla anywhere in this movie, do feel free to make him the smallest lizard you could possibly find. I mean, I don't think that creature has had enough humiliation. I mean, he had it handed to him in Final Wars on a silver platter. A healthy heaping of humiliation. But I just don't think we've gone far enough with humiliating Zilla. Or Gino, whichever you prefer to call him. I still prefer Gino, but that's my old sentimentality on a nickname. I'm from the 90s, after all. But, you could even stick an iguana in it, and it'd make a nice reference. You know. While also serving as humiliation for Gino. Because instead of being a giant monster, he's reduced to the size of an iguana again. I wasn't really paying attention to any particularly small animals, but there might have been an iguana in this movie. I don't think so. I mean, I remember a dog. Believe me when I say I have not had the chance to get a hold of my own copy and watch it frame by frame. At certain moments, anyway. I wouldn't watch the whole movie frame by frame. That'd be tedious and obnoxious. But, you know, just for those little moments in the background where there's these little items scattered around, I might occasionally pause and see if I can find anything in the background. But, anyway, I think I've rambled on enough about things in the background and characters that aren't in the movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson did a fairly good job. If I remember correctly, I believe he is I believe he's Dave from Kick-Ass, but don't quote me on that. Bryan Cranston, which I said earlier, did fantastic. David Strathairn was good. Elizabeth Olsen was fine. Shame about Bryan Cranston's wife in the movie, though. Hey, they're playing a song. It is playing a song. Okay, that's just the result song. You can't hear it because it's not recording that audio, but the emulator popped back up and started playing a song. Yeah, and I think I'd in the overall review, since I can't really spoil too much at this point in time, I'd have to give I'd have to give Godzilla 2014. Let's see if this rating works. 9 out of 10 suns. Or Godzilla faces. I don't know. I'll work on that later. It's a fantastic movie. I think they missed an opportunity to use the Godzilla theme. Or the Godzilla March. The march goes, and the, I think the theme goes, something like that. I think they missed opportunities to use those. Those would have been nice to hear. And again, I say they might have used those. I didn't catch if they remixed them at all. But if they did use them, they remixed them to a point where I didn't recognize it. I mean, it could have been used in the intro of the movie. I kind of felt a small vibe that could have been one of the Godzilla themes, but I wasn't for sure. But yeah, I'd have to give it a 9 out of 10. If I find out later that they did use one of the themes, it might come dangerously close to a 10 out of 10. Might be 9.5. Because then the only annoyance would be is that Godzilla was kind of dumbed down. He wasn't nearly as smart as he was before. He basically fell for almost every trick in the book. You know, getting back attacked and smacked around a bit before finally finishing off his opponent. But that's still a fairly decent score for an American Godzilla movie. Trust me. I think what did Rotten Tomatoes give it? Like a 80 or something like that. I might find out later that might be too kind. They didn't really give it that rating, but I thought it was an 80 or something like that. But critics seemed to like it, and I certainly share their enthusiasm. It was a very, very good movie. But yeah, 9.5 out of 10 is what I'd have to give it. As I said earlier, I'm back because I had to fill in more of the audio space. I'm sure you noticed we got a credit that works somewhat like a continuum, I think. Never died, so I've never tested any of this stuff out. But we've got a signal from the professor. He's found a clear difference between King Ghidorah and the cells of other monsters. But then he gets kidnapped. Oh no. This is horrible. What did you say? We think the professor is being held at the aliens' Earth base near Lake Ashino. The professor is at one of the bases and the others are just decoys filled with explosives. Also, the whole area is wired with high voltage. Touching one of those wires would greatly injure even Godzilla. Wait, so it's more than 1,000,000 volts? Because that's the last time anyone ever tried to injure Godzilla with high voltage. Move Godzilla carefully. But that'll be for next time. One more quick thing I'd like to add is that I have to give credit to Yoshimitsu Banno, who did not attempt to fill the new Godzilla movie with all kinds of pollution, stuff. I was expecting it. I was. That the only thing that they really got in it that's a green message is don't use nuclear bombs, and that has always been at the center of Godzilla. So it seems that Banno has apparently learned his lesson from trying to make eco-friendly movies. I don't know if we'll ever see the return of Hedorah. Maybe in the third movie, because it seems to be heavily announced that we've already got 4 monsters coming in for the second. Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Rodan. So I don't think we'll have any room for Hedorah unless they foreshadow him at the end. Which reminds me of something else. I wondered if there was anything at the end of the credits of this Godzilla movie. I didn't get to see because we had to leave the place where we were watching the movie, which is a real shame. But nothing I can really do about it. So, but see you on the next episode of Let's Play Super Godzilla.